The protesters also rallied against President Trump's closest ally, Elon Musk, with many holding signs calling for the deportation of the billionaire.
Elon Musk has got to go, hey, hey, ho, ho. Elon Musk has got to go, hey, hey, ho, ho. Elon Musk has got to go, hey, hey, ho, ho. Elon Musk has got to go, hey.
We are witnessing in real time the most corrupt bargain in American history. Elon Musk contributed, paid over $250 million to help elect Donald Trump. And now Donald Trump is turning over the keys to the Treasury and the rest of the federal government to Elon Musk. We need to end this illegal power grab, and we are going to do it now. We are not going back.
Oh, but it was okay for Mark Zuckerberg to donate hundreds of millions of dollars to the Democrat Party. That was okay. But Elon Musk couldn't do it for the person he wanted to vote for, the person he supported. Yeah, okay. Hey there, Patriots. This is True Outlaw Patriot coming at you with another one. The video that I'm dropping tonight, I don't know if anybody's heard the past few days, maybe even weeks, but it seems like the tolerant left, okay, the all-inclusive liberal party, the ones that tout saying that they're on the right side of history, have decided to take matters into their own hands again, like back in 2020. And in all honesty, it's basically from all the dog whistling that the left has been doing these past 8+ years on calling Donald Trump a fascist and a racist and all that. And now it's spilling over to Elon Musk, where they are basically vandalizing Tesla owners' vehicles. They're torching and vandalizing his stores and wherever there's like parking lots where they're storing the Tesla vehicles. And it seems that it's getting bigger and bigger, and it looks like once again we are going down another road perpetrated by the left, by the politicians, okay, all the talking heads, news outlets, on mainstream media, social media, where people think that they can just go and air out their grievances physically, while the whole time still trying to point fingers and project, saying that all this hate, all the division, okay, all the destruction to their so-called democracy is coming from the right. But yet, once again, people are going to spin this around as usual. And just when you thought, when you got, when people like Joy Reid lost her job, Don Lemon, Cuomo, that there'd be a little more, how can I say, a little more sanity on the mainstream media, but it hasn't done anything. They're like gremlins. You wet one of them and they just mass produce. So they got rid of a few, but there's still more that are out there that are still spewing all this hate and vitriol towards Elon Musk, where it's getting to the point that even Elon is saying, okay, that it's getting dangerous. And he even went on Joe Rogan's podcast airing that out. And in all honesty, I truly hope that Donald Trump and his Department of Justice, I truly hope that they go and they crack down on all these people. And I truly hope that Elon Musk, in all honesty, I hope that he starts suing the living shit out of all these news media outlets that are spreading all this hate that is affecting not only innocent people, it's affecting his businesses. They are literally going and vandalizing his businesses. And yet they're going to come out and say, again, I'll repeat it, that they're on the right side of history. It's insane, people. It truly is. But anyway, I got a lot to show you, so everybody stick with me. But before I continue, don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, pass the channel around. I also want to thank my new subscribers and my subscribers here on YouTube and on Rumble. So with that being said, let's get to this video clip. I mean, it all started a while ago, but I'm gonna play a few clips and then we're gonna see what's going on as of today. Here we go.
Let's shift our focus to the US elections. Less than 2 weeks to go, and the rhetoric between the two candidates is becoming increasingly combative. At a campaign event, Vice President Kamala Harris has labelled Donald Trump a fascist, echoing comments from his longest-serving Chief of Staff, John Kelly, who this week criticised the former president.
This is a window into who Donald Trump really is, from the people who know him best, from the people who worked with him side by side in the Oval Office and in the Situation Room. And it is clear from John Kelly's words that Donald Trump is someone who, I quote, certainly falls into the general definition of fascist, who in fact vowed to be a dictator on day one and vowed to use the military as his personal militia to carry out his personal and political vendettas.
Well, Donald.
Okay. Now, I know that we're not campaigning anymore, people, and I'm sure that a lot of you have seen this already. But the reason why I'm showing this, like I said, is because, you know what? Just like in 2020, politicians on the left, okay, and the rhinos, and social media, mainstream media, they started this narrative that had gotten tens of thousands of people around the country into this frenzy where they took it upon themselves, like I said, to just basically say and do whatever they want. And they were coddled by the left and basically given carte blanche to just go out there and cause destruction. Okay? Here we are, once again, where Trump got way more votes. He got the popular vote. He got the electoral college. He got the 7 swing states. And the left is still out there saying that the election was stolen, that Trump wasn't duly elected, that he paid all these people in order to, like, you know, rig the election or whatever the case is, and that he's a fascist, and now he's got Elon Musk on his side, where people are disrespecting Donald Trump's title and calling Elon the president. But I digress on that. I mean, that's, you know, that's whatever. And it is just something that keeps going on and on and on. And then when people point it out, they come out and say, like the video that I put out earlier today, because I made it yesterday, dropped it earlier today, of the woman, that was speaking on the news outlet The Hill, when she was saying that it's Donald Trump's rhetoric that's got people in a frenzy. But yet, why is it that if Donald Trump is at a rally saying what he has to say, okay, then why is it, or why isn't it people on the right going out there and having a problem with the left? No, it's the opposite. And instead of them showing themselves in a better light, no, they just double down on it. Double, triple, quadruple down, where it's getting to be physical attacks. But there is no getting through these people to make them stop. It's not even about making them stop. They are going for broke on this. Okay, and I for one, first of all, I'm not trying to enrage anybody. I'm just trying to keep people up on what's going on, because, you know, the left came out and said that they're all about the Green New Deal and getting rid of fossil fuels or whatever the case is. When Elon Musk was on their side, they didn't have a problem. Elon Musk decided to make a decision and say, you know what, I don't like the way the Democrat Party's going. So I'm going to go, and I feel that, you know what, I align more with Donald Trump. And now it's like, no, you left us, and now you're going to be a target. As a matter of fact, the rumor is on X, I believe, that there's an organization that is doxing people's addresses that own Teslas. In other words, to have people go and either, I guess, attack them or attack their vehicle, damage their vehicles. And it's like, why doesn't anybody on the left see this and try to calm it down? I mean, we could come up with any answer. None of them are going to be good, in all honesty. But here we are, people. This is the state of affairs that we are. And it started way back when. And this woman who wanted to be president, okay, instead of just taking just regular jabs, because I get it, in politics, you know, all parties, they take jabs at each other. No, what the left was doing is what we're seeing now. They have sowed seeds of just hate and destruction. And here we are, people. But let's get to the next video clip. Here we go.
We begin in the United States, where tens of thousands of protesters took to the streets against the Trump administration on Wednesday. The demonstrations came as people decried the White House's early actions, including immigration crackdowns, rollbacks on gender rights, and tariffs on allied nations. The protests were the result of a movement that was organized under the hashtags Build the Resistance and 50501, which stands for 50 Protests, 50 States, One Day. The largest protests took place in California, Oregon, Washington State, Minnesota, Michigan, Wisconsin, Indiana, New York, New Jersey, and Washington, D.C. The demonstrations were even seen in traditional red states like Texas, Alabama, Alaska, Missouri, and Ohio.
I feel like the movement is growing. I mean, we've only had to deal with him for the last 16 days. So I think people are waking up to what we're faced with and are going to be coming into the streets.
In 2016, you know, we didn't know what he was really going to do in office, but now we know. And yeah, I don't know. I can't understand how he got elected. I can't understand how people are okay with this. And I hope that people will start to push back before it's too late.
Throughout.
Okay, now you heard that. You heard what she said. She hopes that people start to push back before it's too late. You know, if anybody on the right, if they went to a Trump rally or a Trump protest, okay, where if Donald Trump lost and there was people out there protesting, if anybody on the right came out and said those exact words, I hope that there's going to be pushback. I mean, the mainstream media will be losing their shit over this. Okay? But it just seems like they don't care who gets hurt. They don't care who they vilify. They don't care who they attack. And this is why I said in one of my videos, you know, that... and I'll keep saying that I'm not trying to advocate any kind of violence or get anybody upset, but this is where people, us on the right, we have to keep our heads cool. And I'm not saying, you know, if anything happens, not to defend yourself. What I'm saying is they are trying to do something in order to, they're using their party to disrupt this country. And they want everyone to take the bait. And I'll be honest, I am so proud of people on the right that they are keeping their composure. These people on the left keep saying that they're on the right side of history. I mean, how they cannot even look at themselves of what they're doing and for a split second say, you know what, this is not the way a civilized person should be acting. But it doesn't surprise me because all the left keep doing, and it doesn't stop, it's still going on, is that they just keep feeding this mantra. They just keep feeding this hate. And it goes on and on and on. You know? And yet, you still have people on the left saying, no, this is all Donald Trump's fault. He's the one inciting these people to act like this. I don't know, but if you ask me, Donald Trump hasn't done a rally, okay, and I don't know how long, maybe a month or something like that. He's been too busy trying to clean up the country. Trying to clean up the government. But the left is still out there protesting. For every little thing, they're freaking protesting. But let's continue.
Cities including Atlanta, Boston, New York, and Philadelphia, protesters chanted slogans like "Death to Fascism," "Save Democracy," "No Human is Illegal," and "Impeach Trump."
Yeah, we'll leave it at that. Let's get to the next video clip. Here we go.
And while we have no illusions about what we are up against in this chapter in our American story, this chapter will be written not simply by whoever occupies the Oval Office, nor by the wealthiest among us. The American story will be written by you.
Written by who? You know, if anybody didn't catch this clip when it first came out, this was put out by the New York Post. They said that Kamala Harris is basically taking a jab at Trump and at Elon, saying whoever occupies the Oval Office or the wealthiest among us. And she's going to come out and say that the American story is going to be written by you, meaning people on the left. That's exactly what she was saying. But let's see how that American story is being written out. Here we go.
Those astronauts may not be here safely back on Earth without Elon Musk. People should be rooting for him, thanking him. But because of his partnership with President Trump, the left has somehow turned anything associated with Musk into a target.
Yep.
We've seen agitators firebomb Tesla dealerships and repair centers. Cars are being keyed in broad daylight. A Jewish Cybertruck owner found a swastika drawn onto his vehicle. All of this.
Okay, I want to cut this real quick, people, before I let it go, because I have this clip and another clip. But something that I just want to put out there, and I want all of yous to, and I'll try to leave a link in the description, and it pertains to this whole Free Palestine movement. And the reason why I bring it up is because a lot of them are, in their protest, they're chanting, the fascists gotta go, and all this. When I seen this, and I was not gonna put out this information out there, so I want everybody to pay attention. And like I said, I'm gonna leave the link of the video in the description. I'm not gonna play any clips from it. Okay, I don't know if I can because of copyright reasons. But when you have time, I want you to watch it and make your own judgment on it and do more research. Okay. But you have all these people that are protesting Elon Musk and Donald Trump. They're over here putting swastikas and stuff like that, swastika emblems on the vehicles. They're making their protest signs. They're putting swastikas on them and stuff like that. And it's a mixture between the protesters and protesters for Palestine. Okay. And the reason why I bring that up, and I brought it up one time, but I think it went over everybody's head. No offense to anybody, but I'm gonna minimize this real quick, and I just want to show you guys a video. Like I said, I'm gonna leave it in the description, but right here, I want everybody to look up this video. It's called "Why Did the Grand Mufti of Palestine Collaborate with Nazi Germany?" Okay. Now I'm not gonna play anything because of copyright, okay? But in that video, it shows the Grand Mufti of Palestine sitting down with Hitler, and they're smiling and they're having a good conversation, whatever the case is. You need to go and watch that documentary, and then you have to ask yourself, regardless of what's going on right now in Israel and Palestine, we know what's going on. This has nothing to do with that. I only bring it up because you have all these protesters trying to call people Nazis. You have all these people that are pro-Palestine calling other people Nazis, and yet they don't even know their own damn history to know that their Grand Mufti of Palestine back in the 40s hooked up with Hitler. Okay? But yet they want to go around calling people like Trump and Elon Musk Nazis. I just wanted to throw that in. Like I said, I'll try to leave the description, the link in the description. At your leisure, go check it out and make your own judgment about it. Okay, just make your own judgment about it. There's a lot of things in history that people they try to suppress it, and in my opinion, if all that is true, then you know what? I think the people that are out there protesting, okay, really need to think about what kind of rhetoric they're using. Because if anything, they're acting like the Nazis while projecting and calling other people Nazis. But enough of that. Let's continue.
Has cost business owners and dealerships tens of thousands of dollars in damage, not to mention the fear that this stokes. Now Musk is blaming the left for encouraging this violent behavior. Here's what he told our Sean Hannity last night. Watch.
It's really come as quite a shock to me that there's this level of really hatred and violence from the left. I always thought the left, or the Democrats, were supposed to be the party of empathy, the party of caring, and yet they're burning down cars, they're firebombing dealerships, they're firing bullets into dealerships, they're just, smashing up Teslas. Tesla is a peaceful company. We've never done anything harmful. I've never done anything harmful. I've only done productive things. So
exactly.
I think we just have a deranged, there's some kind of mental illness thing going on here, because this doesn't make any sense.
And he's right. He's only done productive things. Okay? This was just a small clip. I'll get to the full Sean Hannity clip. It's not too much. It's not too long, but I'm going to play it. But before I do, I just want to point out some of the good things that this man has done that you would think the left would put their differences to the side and say, you know what, regardless of how we feel about him, he has done productive things. When the war in Ukraine started, I believe that Elon Musk was sending Starlink Wi-Fi packages out there. Okay, when the fires happened in Maui, the same thing. He was sending Starlink out there so people could get Wi-Fi. When the storms happened in North Carolina, where they didn't have any Wi-Fi, the same thing. In case anybody forgets, he was sending out their Starlinks, and he sent a couple of people to oversee that, and it was FEMA, okay, that wind up taking control of it and saying, no, we got to stick them all in our warehouses, okay? One of the biggest things I remember, and I'm directing this to all you Latinos out there, especially you Latinos out there from Puerto Rico, that want to go and protest against Elon Musk and get into this whole frenzy, okay, with what's going on. When the hurricanes happened in Puerto Rico a few years back, 3 or 4 years ago, where it was the 2 hurricanes, in case anybody forgets, Elon Musk offered to go and rebuild the power grid in Puerto Rico. Okay? The whole power grid. And you know why? Because that power grid has been shot to shit for decades. Big time. And because of the leftist agenda, that regime that runs Puerto Rico, that really doesn't care how much money is sent there, because all they do is basically steal it, okay? They decided to say, no, Elon, we don't need your help. Fast forward a few years later, and basically the power grid is still shot to shit in Puerto Rico. So those are just a few things that Elon does. Oh, and one more thing. The astronauts that Biden left out in space for the past, 10 months, 11 months? When they were only supposed to be there for 8 days, and the rumor is that he didn't want to bring them down, and he didn't want Elon Musk's help to get them because Elon Musk voted for Trump, is supporting Trump. How do you stand by that? Biden left Americans stranded in space. And just another little fun fact, supposedly the people on there, there was only one person up there, okay, that supposedly is a Trump supporter. The rest of the astronauts are supposedly Democrat. But when it comes to astronauts, they really don't care about that because they're out there to explore things. But even with that, and regardless if they were Democrat or Republican, they were Americans. Joe Biden, your overlord, left them stranded in space, and Elon Musk went and got the word and went and rescued them and brought them back home. While you people are out there protesting, calling him a Nazi, he's managed to help Ukrainian people. He's managed to help Hawaiian people. He's managed to help people in North Carolina. He wanted to help the people in Puerto Rico. But no. Can't have that. He's a Nazi. On top of the fact that Donald Trump, the other fascist Nazi you people talk about, gave more money to black colleges than Obama and Biden. But that wasn't good enough. So let me get this straight. You got two guys that you're deeming to be Nazis that are basically out there helping minorities more than your black president when he was president for 8 years, and the white guy who basically said they're going to put you all back in chains. They'll wind up calling little black kids cockroaches. I didn't say it, he did. Look it up. Let's get to the full video clip. I just wanted to throw that out there. Here we go.
You help people in North Carolina, you help people in California when they have no communications. And I watch all of this and I have to ask, why? Why do I see people like, I woke up this morning and saw that Teslas were put ablaze in one of your dealerships in Vegas. I've seen this happen all over the country. Bullets are being fired, charging stations are put ablaze, Teslas are being put ablaze. You have experienced assassination, threats of assassination for you and your family. What have you done that warrants this? Because I see nothing that you have done except help our country.
Yeah, I mean, it's really come as quite a shock to me that there's this level of really hatred and violence from the left. I always thought the left, or Democrats, were supposed to be the party of empathy, the party of caring, and yet they're burning down cars, they're firebombing dealerships, they're firing bullets into dealerships, they're just, smashing up Teslas. Tesla is a peaceful company. We've never done anything harmful. I've never done anything harmful. I've only done productive things. So I think we just have a deranged, there's some kind of mental illness thing going on here, because this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
and I think there are larger forces at work as well. I mean, I don't know who's funding it and who's coordinating it, because this is crazy. I've never seen anything like this.
You actually tweeted out, and I'll put it on the screen, the level of violence is insane. It is deeply wrong. Tesla just makes electric cars and has done nothing to deserve these evil attacks. You just rescued 2 astronauts that have been in space for 286 days. They were only supposed to be there 8. You help the people in North Carolina, Tennessee, California. You have, I think, the most creative and innovative car on the market. You created Starlink for communications that's used by hundreds of countries. You're working on helping the blind see and all of these other things. Is it really come down to the basic, you're aligned with President Donald Trump, who also is a friend of mine, and that you have identified well over $100 billion in waste, fraud, abuse that our federal government never should have been spending? Is that what it comes down to?
Yeah, it turns out when you take away people's, the money they're receiving fraudulently, they get very upset, and they basically want to kill me because I'm stopping their fraud, and they want to hurt Tesla because we're stopping this terrible waste and corruption in the government. And well, I guess they're bad people. Bad people will do bad things.
Well, I know that overall, financially, in the end, yes, they can hurt you, but the people that they'll end up hurting are the people that work in your dealerships that may risk losing their job. The people that they may end up hurting are the people that work on the line and build the Teslas. They're going to be the ones hurt. And that to me is despicable on their part, just because they might have a political difference or perceived political difference.
I'm going to jump in real quick. And another thing, is good that he said that, because one of the things that I think they're trying to do, the powers that be, the people on the left are the ones doing this. I think what they're trying to do is stoke, they're obviously out to attack no matter what, but they're also out there to try to stoke fear, and probably in the hopes that a lot of people that work for him will stop working for him. Let me tell you something. It's mind-boggling the way people cannot see this and say, you know what, they are trying to destroy this man. It's like your wickedness is just so out there that you don't care who sees it as long as you get it. Okay? It's like that pimp that's out on the street. He knows he's a pimp. The cops knows he's a pimp, But instead of him hiding, no, he doesn't hide. He'll stand out there and slap up the women that he's forcing to work for him for all the world to see. That, I mean, I hate to say it that way. And like I said, I'm not trying to stoke any anger and hate in people. I want people to look at this and realize. And even if you're on the left, just stop for a second and understand. Do your research. If this man has been out there before he even decided to vote for Trump, look at all the things he was doing before that, and then ask yourself, how in the world did you go from either knowing him and liking him, or not knowing him or knowing much of him, to all of a sudden just start hating this man? What has he done? Truthfully, ask yourself, damn it. What the hell has he done to hurt you or anybody you know personally? What has he done? And I guarantee your answer is going to be, you don't know. But that's because the left has this, they're feeding this freaking, this evil, this demonic wickedness into people. And they know this. And then Donald Trump comes out and says, you know what? He is going to treat every act, all this vandalism, everything that's going on, he's considering it acts of terrorism. Excuse me. And even then, now the left is saying that it's wrong. Wait a minute. The left and them were fine with calling people domestic terrorists. They're fine with calling the people at January 6th domestic terrorists. What about the people that are doing this? Do you see the double standard? Listen, if you're out there just protesting, that's one thing. Do I believe everybody that's out there protesting is out there to destroy? No, because we do see it plenty of times, I have to admit, where you'll see people telling others in those crowds, no, stop. But look at the damage that the ones that are in there doing. They're burning, they're shooting, they're attacking personal people's property. It's just like 2020 all over again. And the left just keeps encouraging it. Wake up, people. Wake up. They are using you to do their dirty work because of what he just said. He has taken away their money. And it's not even their money. That's the thing about it. It's our money, my money, your money. Whether you're Democrat, if you're paying taxes, Republican, paying taxes, it doesn't matter. It's our money that they're using, and they're upset that Elon Musk is wind up basically exposing all the waste that the corrupt politicians that you always complain about are wasting. But since it's the people you voted for and it's the people brainwashing you, you're going to go and do their dirty work. Unreal.
Let me ask you this, because I think this is pretty important. You know, the average American makes $66,000 a year. We're close to $40,000 in debt. You said to me in our last interview, we won't have a country unless we fix it now. Can you explain why this is so important that we identify all this waste?
Yes, the government the government waste and fraud is so high that it's causing a $2 trillion annual deficit. So that's $2,000 billion of waste and fraud that's happening. And the cost of our debt has gotten so high that just the interest payments on the debt exceed the entire military budget. And it was just growing out of control. So the country was going bankrupt. It's just, country is no different from a person. If a country overspends and doesn't spend wisely, just like a person, a country will go bankrupt. So the reason I'm here is because I'm very worried about America going bankrupt due to the corruption and waste. And if we don't do something about it, the ship of America is going to sink. And we're all on that ship. Mm-hmm. And this may be a message to, people out there who have, are wealthy, have a lot of means, or control companies. It's like, just remember, we're all on ship America here.
Exactly.
Your company is not going to exist if the ship of America sinks. And we should do everything we possibly can to ensure that America is strong for far into the future.
And for doing that, we're all sunk. And for doing that, you should not have your company be a victim of domestic terrorism. If I
Yeah.
may, one last question. You know, when I interviewed you and President Trump together, one of the questions I asked both of you was, are you aware that there are groups that want to separate you, groups that would like to divide you, groups that would like to see you not work together? I feel it's stronger than it's ever been. Do you get the same sense?
I think they're getting desperate because, I mean, the reason we're seeing this extreme amount of hatred and violence is because we're actually succeeding in getting rid of corruption and waste. If we weren't succeeding in getting rid of corruption and waste, they wouldn't care.
Exactly.
But we are succeeding. Without President Trump, this would be impossible. So I'd just like to say, you know, it's only possible with this president. And we've got this narrow window of opportunity with a House, Senate, and you know, a popular vote, really we're just implementing the will of the people, and we've got this window where we can finally take corrective action. We can fix the government, fix the country, and create a great future. And again, it's only possible because of President Trump.
Well,
I can't say enough good things about him.
I'm kind of supportive too. I'm pretty well known for my support of him.
Yeah.
As you might know,
reason.
but well, for good reason, and for all the reasons you're saying. I want to save our country. We can't rob from our kids and grandkids, and we can't put all that debt on them. And you're right. None of us will have any business opportunities because there won't be any money, there won't be any freedom, there won't be an economy. Thank you for what you did today. I know I speak for a lot of people when I say that. And on the other side of it, you know, your company being a victim of domestic terrorism, you know, I can't say that I'm sorry enough. We need to get these people that are responsible for this, and you should not have to live through that. Your workers should not have to live through that. Your company and this country should not have to live through that. And I hope we get to the bottom of it.
Thank you.
And by the way, I'm excited about my S-Plaid. It's the best car I've ever driven,
It's a great car.
All right, I'm gonna stop right there, folks. You know, and it's true what he's saying, and I want everybody to understand what he was saying. Okay, if he wasn't doing the right thing, he didn't say that. If he wasn't basically exposing what's true, so many people on the left would not be upset with him. Think about that. If everything that he's doing was not true, they will be fighting saying that it's not true, and they will probably be laughing at him or whatever the case is. That's not what they're doing. They're complaining because they want him to stop. Think about that. They're not saying he's a liar. At least nothing from what I've seen. Okay? All they keep telling you out there, you protesters out there, is that he's a fascist. He wants to get your social security numbers. He wants to get all your bank statements. He wants to get this. He wants to get that. Meanwhile, he's saying, no, I'm exposing all the money that's being wasted. Your money that's being wasted. Do you honestly think that if he really wanted your information with the money that this man has, with the people that he pays, do you people actually think, and I'm directing these questions to you out there, you people on the left, do you actually think that he doesn't have the money and he doesn't have the inside intel on hiring people to go and hack everybody's personal information? All he does is deal with technology. Okay? Think about that. Whereas the government told us years ago, there's this little project called Big Brother. You all know your computers are hacked, your cell phones are hacked, your iPads, your smart TVs, you all know that all that's hacked. But yet the left is over here trying to tell you that what he's doing is to disrupt your life. No, what he's doing is that he's disrupting their life, their cash cow, taking their money, not their money, basically getting our money back from them. And you people are out there all in a frenzy attacking this man when he didn't have to do this. He's not getting paid for this. Donald Trump basically hired one of the smartest people on the planet, and right now, in all honesty, in America, the smartest man that's willing to do this for the American people. You people say so much that he's a fascist and this and that and a Nazi. He's from South Africa. This man could be pledging his allegiance to South Africa. He could have been doing all this in South Africa. He didn't have to come to America. He could have stayed there. We would have to be competing with him in South Africa, and guess what? We would be losing if he decided to stay in South Africa. They would be years ahead of us. While all you people are out here protesting about climate change and cleaning up the planet and the Green New Deal and all that, you have people in South Africa, people in Africa, all around the Congo driving his Teslas. Think about that. But he decided to come and move his companies here and say, you know what? I want to build my bones, okay, in America. And he talks about that if this keeps up, America's going to sink. All you people on the left keep saying that America is the vestibule of freedom. People around the world need us. If that's what you feel, then understand the fact that if you keep supporting the left and what they're doing without money and they collapse America, all your hopes and dreams of helping people around the world will collapse. Do you people not use what God gave you, which is a brain? Listen, all you people out there who are against us, against Christians, against conservatives, Republicans, libertarians, whatever the case is, think for a minute. You keep saying that you're on the right side of history. And you're vilifying a man that's trying to help this country progress. Because if we progress, the rest of the world can progress. We can help them better. But we cannot take away from our neighbors to give to somebody else halfway around the planet. What does that say about us? That is what you people like to do. And you let your puppet masters and your overlords pull the strings on you to do that. To basically make you turn a blind eye to your neighbor being robbed, to take that money and say that they're going to send $10 overseas when all they do is send $1 overseas and they take $9, and yet now you're still broke, your neighbor's broke, but there's some project going on overseas that nobody is paying attention to. While people like Nancy Pelosi, who's only making what? $160,000 a year, whatever the case is well worth over $200 million. AOC's worth a few $1 million. Think about that. All these people on the left are worth millions of dollars, and they all claim to say, you know what? We came from broke families. Then how the hell did you get so rich? While your constituents are still poor, while Detroit is still, it's still destroyed. While there's poverty, there's poverty still in not just the black communities, in the white communities, Latino communities, you name it. But when you look at the demographics, most of it's run, if not all of it, by Democrats. And then when you say something about it, what's the first thing out their mouth? You're a Nazi. You're a fascist. And I'll bring it up again. And yet, you're over here protesting. Now, don't get me wrong. What's going on between Israel and Palestine, I understand all that. People, both sides, they're at each other's throats. But when you have Palestinians calling this man Palestinian protesters calling this man a Nazi, when supposedly their Grand Mufti back in the 40s collaborated with the Nazis. Make it make sense. Think about it. Think about it. But anyway, that's what I got for you. Don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, pass the channel around. And if you can help support the channel, there's a link in my description to my Cash App and my merch store. I'll say it right now, hats off to Elon Musk, and I hope that him and Trump just keep moving forward and get the support they need, and that a lot more of you people wake up and look at the whole picture and see what the hell's going on. Okay? because it's just long overdue. All this rioting and chaos has to stop. This is all coming from your side. You're the ones that are out there in the frenzy. One protest slows down, you start the next one 3 blocks over. It's just ridiculous. And you're attacking innocent people and properties for no damn reason, only because you're hateful. So remember, people, stay vigilant, keep praying for each other, keep praying for the women and the children, pray for this country. Pray for your enemies, pray for Donald Trump, and don't forget to pray for all the missing children that they brought across the border. Peace.